Hey everyone, this is Spacemon07 back with another video. I had such good feedback from my last video and have since done a couple other things and appeared a couple places, but am back with another video. So my main background, to kind of get right into it, is functional movement, gait analysis, exercise science. So I actually coach a lot of people in gait mechanics, how to properly walk, run, people who are overcoming injury, people who have maybe had significant amount of weight loss from maybe a bariatric surgery. So now they're having to kind of learn how to use their body again. So that's my background. I'm coming at this from a scientific gait analysis standpoint kind of view. Biomechanics, exercise science is really something I love and enjoy. And I feel like a lot of times in these true crime cases, we can use this to our advantage to maybe not identify perfectly who a subject or perpetrator is, but what it does do is add to the profile, help us to come up with maybe what we're looking for or not looking for. So it may not help us find the exact person, but it might help us exclude certain people to get to it. So one of the cases I've looked at recently, and I've actually appeared on Armchair Detective show to discuss, is the Missy Bevers case. And what I'm going to do here is just build out a quick profile of what we're looking for from a movement standpoint with this person, because gait analysis has been a big part of this case in trying to find out who the suspect is and why it is. While it is a looser science in terms of being able to really pin down who someone is, I think it's important for us to be able to use it when we can. So starting off with this video, we're going to start it at about 47 seconds. I may go back and forth. I'm going to try and keep this video a little more concise than my last one, so please bear with me. First thing we notice with this individual is that extreme external rotation of those feet. I work with people like this all the time. This is very, very common. Usually when it comes to foot position and it negatively impacting our gait, it's usually one of two things. It's extreme internal rotation of the femur followed by knee valgus, and then internal rotation of the toes or of the foot where your toes are pointing inward. In this case, and you'll see later, this individual does have a bit of knee valgus where those knees, that femur is internally rotated, but they have extreme external rotation of the tibia in this case, right, and then down into the foot and ankle joint. So that is something right off the bat that we can look for. There are cases where certain people may just in an instance stand like this. There's a lot of athletes who are known to have sort of that toes out style of walking. So it's not that it's detrimental if it's only to a certain degree of angle. But in this case, I would say that this would be detrimental to this person's gait in terms of overall function. So definitely something when you're looking for who a suspect could possibly be in this case, we want to consider that this person may not be the most athletic. They may have things like hip pain or knee pain. This may be someone who is seeing a physical therapist on a regular basis. Maybe they've had a surgery or a procedure or going to have such. So when building out our profile, these are things to keep in mind. So we'll kind of move on through the video. As we walk, we'll actually rewind just for a second here. As we watch this individual start to walk or move forward, we notice here that the right foot is a bit more externally rotated than the left, and we'll see later on a little bit more of a pronounced drag of one of the feet. I can't remember right off the top of the head. Typically, when people walk like this, they tend to walk on the insides of their feet. This is really, really common, again, especially when associated with knee valgus. I know from experience this is something that can create flat feet in a lot of folks and can be corrected over time with proper exercise, proper teaching and coaching. I have a number of people where I've drastically improved this, but for the most part, it's something a lot of people kind of learn to deal with and tolerate, but it does and can lead to some pretty significant hip pain. So we'll move on in the video. So here, this is where we can see a little bit of that limp. So if you watch here, that left foot will go back here just a little bit. This individual has a little bit of a staggering when they step. So what this leads me to believe is they probably suffer from some type of arthritis. Maybe there's some severe inflammation in any one of those joints from the hip down. From experience, I would likely say this is due to hip or knee pain just by the way the person is moving their foot and the kind of pressure they're still putting on the foot. Typically when it's an ankle injury, they tend to be a little bit more ginger on it. This person's still putting a substantial amount of weight on that foot. But we'll go back here again. The other thing I notice is posture. So this person seems to have what's called upper crust syndrome, where the shoulders are rounded forward, so it would be kind of tough for this person to put their arms over their head. What this means is this person may have a desk job. Typically when people suffer from upper crust syndrome, that kind of the roundness of that upper back, that thoracic area, and the tightness of those pectoral, those anterior muscles on the body. Usually it's associated with sedentary lifestyle. This is just speaking from the numbers. So you may look at someone who possibly works in IT, someone who maybe just maybe works in insurance or some type of sales or call center. We're looking for someone who essentially sits down for a large portion of their day. Maybe someone who plays a lot of video games, anything where you're in that seated position where you're prone to having exceptionally tight hip flexors, as well as those tight anterior muscles of the chest. So your deltoids, your pectoral muscles that run across the chest, and then that lengthened neck and back. Person also, due to the limp here, may have had a recent injury as well. I didn't kind of clarify that. It may not be genetic here. This may be a recent injury. But again, we do see a fair amount, an extensive amount of external rotation. So if you were to identify this person in a crowd, their walk would stick out. I wouldn't say that this is a normal gait for a lot of folks. Now, in order to truly identify a person to their gait, you need a lot of information. You would need two subjects performing the same movement, maybe walking the same distance, moving laterally in the same way. So that's something that's very tough to do. But in this case, when it comes to eliminating people, it would be very tough for someone to fake a walk like this. It can be done, but in this case, this looks like this person is suffering from some type of pain or limitations with how they move. So we'll kind of go forward. I did want to talk about how this person pulls open the door. So we do see again that forward head posture, the external rotation of the feet. People pull things differently. This person did kind of a wide pull where they externally rotate at the shoulder. Some people pull more with their back, so more of that upper back area, and then some people are a little bit more elbow dominant, and some people are even rotational. So the way this person approached this door, they approached it with that right foot forward, and then pulling with that right hand, very, very arm dominant. So what this does lead me to believe is this isn't the most efficient way to open this door. It's not the most balanced, safe way to open anything or pull anything. At the end of the day, it's just a pulling pattern. So this person, again, I know Missy Bevers was a coach or trainer, as very similar to me, so I do relate with her in some regard, and it's unfortunate what happened. I feel awful for her and for the family, and I just hope that we can come to a conclusion with this. But if you notice how this person pulls, it's not incredibly efficient. It's a bit awkward. So again, to kind of summarize what we're looking at, and I'll go and cut the video here. We're looking for someone probably not the most athletic, about average height. Tough to say on their weight based on the perspective and the amount of clothing and equipment this individual is wearing, but maybe a more heavy set individual or stocky built. I don't think we're looking at a female. That external rotation of the feet, the forward posture, I've heard a lot of theories that it's really only females who walk or move like this, and I can tell you from experience that that just is not the case. Male or female, regardless of gender, really has very little impact on your gait in terms of what we're looking at here. And it does impact length of certain bones, bone density. There are some things that are biological, but in this case, this could male or female, it could be the case. But however, based on this person's build, based on the way that they're moving, the swing of their feet, and just some other kind of non-fit, just some small cues I'm picking up on that I couldn't really put into words, I would definitely say this person is likely male, although I can't say 100% certain. Probably not someone who attended the classes of Missy Bevers. She taught some pretty intense boot camps. Although trainers, when they're good, and I pride myself in being able to do this, and you can regress exercises. So even if someone maybe isn't to the level of another client, they can still compete and be a part of the workout. So while I can't say for sure that this person did not attend Missy Bevers training sessions, I would say it's unlikely. This is someone who maybe would have been more of a one-on-one client. Maybe they were even going through bouts of physical therapy, seeing an orthopedist. It's more of a more medical and corrective needs with this individual before I would necessarily clear them. And this is without doing a full assessment, but I probably wouldn't necessarily clear them for things like burpees, max vertical jumps, things that you would do, push-ups, things you would do in a normal boot camp style class. Not to say that it's impossible, but just maybe not something I would look at. So hopefully you guys can glean a little bit from this. I would love to hear down in the comments what you guys think. I'm going to keep some more videos like this coming. So just let me know what you want to see. Me and Armchair Detective, we occasionally do some videos together up on his channel, so be looking out for those when those do come down. But I am jumping off here. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you soon.